Molecular orbital theory. After understanding the hybridization, the different types of hybridization, the most important theory which comes after that is the molecular orbital theory. It was given by Hunds and Millikan in around 1932, and it is also called the modern concept of explaining the molecules, formation of molecules. What is the biggest advantage of using this theory is that this is the only theory which is based on the modern concept of the atomic structure. It is based on the quantum mechanical model of the atomic structure, and it is the theory which is actually is very different from the earlier ones, because it is not considering an atom to be a Bohr type of an atom. In this, already the atom has been accepted as the atom which has been given by the quantum mechanical model, the quantum mechanics. In the hybridization, we have seen that the hybridization is basically a hypothetical concept. But in this case, what we find is, like in this case, this theory is based on certain facts. The facts which has been given by the modern concepts, like de Broglie's dual behavior, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, or the facts on the basis of which the quantum theory was based. So this molecular orbital theory, which was actually given by the Millikan and Hunds, is based on quantum mechanical model of the atom. It is based on the modern structure of the atom, and it says that we can't expect only the valence orbitals of the two combining atoms to be mixing with each other and forming new type of orbitals. Why not the whole of the atomic orbitals are getting mixed up? Because once the two atoms are very close to each other, their nucleus and their electrons influence is on all the electrons of those atoms. So it is a more realistic kind of a theory. Now let us see what are the main postulates of this theory are. The first postulate is, as it is said in the case of hybridization, whenever the atoms combine to form the molecule, the hybridization says their atomic orbitals combine to form a new type of orbitals which are called hybrid orbitals. Whereas this theory says, in this, whenever the atoms combine to form the molecular orbitals, the molecules, all their atomic orbitals combine to form new type of orbitals called molecular orbitals, which are written as MOs. So atomic orbitals combines to form new types of orbitals called molecular orbitals. We will not call them hybrid or something like this. We will call them molecules orbital, because now these orbitals will be belonging to the molecule and not to the individual atom. Second important thing. The electrons in the molecule are in molecular orbitals. The electrons will be present in the molecule in these molecular orbitals, and then after the formation of a molecule, we can't say that this electron is belonging to the atomic orbital of this atom. No. Atom loses its identity the moment it forms a molecule. So atomic orbital also loses its identity the moment it forms a molecule. We can't have any atomic orbital in a molecule. All atomic orbitals of the combining atoms, they overlaps, mixes with each other and form new type of orbitals called molecular orbitals. Now, that is why the electrons will be only present in these molecular orbitals. Next point. The atomic orbitals of only comparable energies and symmetry combines to form molecular orbitals. We can't expect a combination of a 2s with a 3p. There's such a large difference of energy as well as the symmetry. So combination of the atomic orbitals is always between those atomic orbitals which are having comparable energies and the symmetry. Then only the overlapping is maximum. Then only the addition of the atomic orbitals is possible to form molecular orbitals. Next concept. The molecular orbitals are polycentric. Remember, they are polycentric. We can't expect, like in case of a normal atom, like when we say this is the atom and this is the atomic orbital it is having. So this now atomic orbital is what? Is monocentric. It's having only one nucleus. But the moment what we expect that they forms a molecule, we can easily make out like this. If there are two nucleus in this, definitely the two atomic orbitals are combined to form a new path, new orbital called molecular orbital. Now we can make out from here Now this path is called your molecular orbital, and they are polycentric, having more than one nucleus. That's why now these atomic or molecular orbitals are not under the influence of only one nucleus. They are under the influence of many nuclei, and that's why we call them, they are in polycentric system. Then the number of molecular orbitals formed is always equal to the number of atomic orbitals combining. If two atomic orbitals are combining, two molecular orbitals are formed. If one and one. If three are combining, three different types of molecular orbitals are formed. So it's like this. Then molecular orbitals are of two types, remember. Whenever the atomic orbitals combine to form molecular orbitals, two types of molecular orbitals are formed. Bonding molecular orbitals and anti-bonding molecular orbitals. In short, we call these as BMOs and ABMOs. These are called BMOs and these are called ABMOs. ABMOs means anti-bonding molecular orbitals. Now, the next point, that the electrons are filled in these molecular orbitals as per the same Aufbau, Pauli's and Hund's rule. We will follow the same rules which we have been following while filling the electrons in the atomic orbitals. The same Aufbau principle, the same Pauli's exclusion principle, and same Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. So same systems are formed while actually assigning the electrons to these molecular orbitals. Again, these molecular orbitals are arranged around the nucleus of the molecules in the according to their energies, like they will be arranged in increasing order of their energies, and in this order only we will be going to fill the electrons in these molecular orbitals. Now the next point, the bonding molecular orbitals have lower energy than respective atomic orbitals, and they participates in bond formation. This is most important. Whereas anti-bonding molecular orbitals have higher energy than respective atomic orbitals, and therefore they doesn't participates in bond formation. That's most important. Another thing, since their energies are lower, the presence of bonding molecular orbitals makes molecular species stable, whereas the presence of anti-bonding molecular orbitals makes these molecular species unstable because their energies are higher. So if higher energy molecular orbitals are more in number, definitely the molecular species energy is higher, so it will be less stable. So their presence makes the molecular species stable, their presence makes the molecular species unstable. They are always involved in the bond formation, they are never involved in the bond formation. So they are formed by the constructive overlapping of the atomic orbitals, they are formed by the destructive or subtractive overlapping of the atomic orbitals. And since both type of possibilities are there, both type of molecular orbitals are formed. So these are the main postulates of the molecular orbital theory. Now let us see how these two types of molecular orbitals are formed.